Hi, my name is Annie Montgomery, and I am the Director of Education at Lifetime Arts. In this lesson, we will be going over in detail the creative aging arts education model for programming. This model is best utilized when in-person programming can take place. We will learn about the components that make up the creative aging arts education model, why these components are important, and how they differ from traditional senior programming options. Traditionally, senior programming is more of the drop-in kind, where people can just drop in at any point during an arts and crafts activity and work on whatever project is being introduced that day. And often an assortment of art forms is introduced. Skills are not generally built from week to week, and while skills may be introduced, they are not explored deeply. You may also see the same type of drop-in option with sing-alongs or exercise and yoga classes. There is generally no registration required. And also, there is not usually an opportunity to share the work that is created with other members of the community. All of these activities are fun and enriching, and in the case of exercise classes, they are incredibly beneficial to older adults' health, but they are not designed with the same creative aging arts education principles in mind. Both kinds of programming can and should exist simultaneously in many places to meet the diverse needs and interests of the older adults that they hope to serve. However, in this course, we will be looking more in depth about the creative aging arts education model, which has proven to have the most positive impacts for older adults and have much more long-lasting, long-term benefits to their social, emotional health, and well-being. The creative aging arts education model of programming is often a new concept and not something that many organizations offer or that older adults themselves have experienced before. Creative aging is about the mastery of skills along with the social engagement opportunities to build community. Mastery of skills cannot happen in an atmosphere where students drop in, and new and stronger social connections are built when the same students come back week after week and begin to build a micro community through the natural evolution of the course. Let's take a closer look at the creative aging arts education model. A creative aging program will be an art class, visual, performing, literary, or music, that is taught by a professional teaching artist skilled in developing a sequential arts curriculum. This is a paid professional arts educator, not a volunteer. The class should be at least 8 sessions and is held in sequential weeks, usually once a week. Why? Because the class is sequential in nature, and one skill will build upon the other, and the learning and the practice of the skills will grow over time. Each class should be a minimum of 90 minutes to ensure that there is plenty of time to practice the skills taught and have time for the reflection and the feedback processes that allow for intentional social engagement opportunities connected to the art making. There also will be a planned culminating event that will be a celebration of the work created over the 8+ weeks and will be shared with other community members. The goal is to have at least 10 people in each class. However, the exact number of the maximum students will be dependent upon the art form and should be determined with the input of the teaching artist. Registration is required in creative aging arts education classes to build buy-in and commitment from the students to return from week to week. The classes can be free or fee-based depending on the organization and their needs. And the class will meet at the same time in the same place every week. And the expectation and the goal is that your patrons will come to every class. Of course, things come up or people get sick, but the goal is that the same group of students will come week after week. This course will be your guide to plan and to implement a creative aging arts education program in your organization.